Pitawanakwat is with the Three Fires Confederacy from Wiikwemkoong unceded territory. He is also very fluent in all dialects, which may also include Chippewa and Algonquin. With over 40 years of research experience, Henry has worked as an archaeologist, an internship at the Museum of Civilization in Gatineau, now Museum of History, and is a member of translators for the Translation Bureau Government of Canada. He was one of the translators at the federal election debate in 2019. Henry enjoys working with the language and is also qualified to teach the language, which is in danger of becoming extinct.
I'll tell you a story of something that's known in history as the Battle of the Little Bighorn, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse. I want to talk about Crazy Horse. He was 9 years old in his community when the chief said, I think he's old enough, let's buy him a little. Instead, they gave him a pony. He got his first pony at 9 years old. This little boy showed talent. He showed his abilities at a very young age. So the chief really, he seen this and he said, this guy's going to be a good hunter, he's going to be a good warrior. So they gave him a pony at 9 years old. He was so happy, this 9-year-old boy was so happy to get his first pony. He went out one day on a beautiful day and he said, I'm going to go and train my pony. He was out all day riding it, training it. Back then you had to train the animals when you got them. They weren't trained before you got them. They were wild. And after a day out there training his pony, he returned to his community, only to find his whole community had been massacred. A little boy, 9 years old, was standing there with his pony. He had found there was no community to come home to. They all had been massacred. He was lost. He managed to find a community that they were aware of, not far from there, maybe a day's travel from there. That community took on Crazy Horse. He told them what had happened, so they took him on. They adopted him. Custom adoption was, they said. It was very common back then when you lost your parents, your community, whomever was able to, took you in. It was called custom adoption. Today we have problems. They don't recognize that through INAC or the government system. And so anyhow, Crazy Horse was adopted by this next community. He was raised there, and at the age of 16, he became well known in that community. They seen his talent, they seen how well he rode his pony and how well he hunted, and he was good. So the chief in that community said, okay, we're going to get him a horse. So they got him a full horse for an adult, 16 years old. Again, Crazy Horse was so delighted, overwhelmed with his gift. He saw that the trauma from his first experience, his first community being massacred, was still on his mind. And he didn't want revenge, but he was hurting inside. This ain't gonna happen again. I'm gonna train myself to fight back as much as I could. Was on this little boy's mind. Remember, he's only 16 years old. He went out that day, trained that horse he had just been given. All day. Came home in the evening, only to find his second community had been massacred. This is a true story of a young boy from 9 years old. His first community got massacred. Age of 16, his second community got massacred. You won't find this in history books because they want to hide the truth. This little boy was furious. This all led to the Battle of Little Bighorn with Sitting Bull, which is well known in history. And we won that war also. This little boy had dreamt that bullets were going to bypass him and miss him in every which way. He had this vision of that war. And when that war had happened, everything in his vision was verified. They couldn't kill Crazy Horse there at that Battle of Little Bighorn, nor Sitting Bull. They were fierce warriors. They knew the system and they knew what was going on. But because of the language barrier, we could not convey this message to other people, even people that are not of my people. We were being dictated, we were forced into the ownership, just like Hitler had done to Germany. It's not, we have a life. And it has to come from the individual. We as individuals have gifts. Not given through school, not given by the government, gifts that the Creator gave us. We're all unique in our own ways. Because our minds have been clouded with education stuff and the way we were dictated to, these gifts we can no longer see. The odd time you might have a gift. We had what they would call in the English language today as a premonition, an instinct. Our people had that. They had a feeling when something was about to happen. Oh, something doesn't feel right, there's something wrong. I think they're preparing another war, another massacre again, so let's get ready. This feeling is very strong. And they surprised the attackers because they were ready. Because they used this gift of warning that they receive. This is something you don't learn in school. It's a humanly gift that we were born with. Everybody has these capabilities. We were given all capabilities to deal with stress. Everything is inside us. We have to find ourselves. We have to dig deep inside and find those gifts that we were given by the Creator. Every human being that was put on here on earth has a purpose. We have to stop looking at each other through skin color. We get a cut, we all bleed red. What's the difference? We're looking at the exterior of people. If we've got all together and put our minds together with the old school, as known as the old school, I'm sure we can find a solution. We're busy being we are too advanced for our own. We're destroying the earth. We're destroying the environment. Fresh air, pollution, non-drinkable water, radiation in the Pacific Ocean from the Hiroshima leak. Very serious. The ice melting in the North Pole. Again, very serious. Climate change, very serious. These all acts from nature that we've created. We have created the damage. We have created this change. And if we don't change, we're going to be wiped out. Not only my people, but every human being will be wiped out on this planet. We have to start finding respect for Mother Earth, the plants, the animals. We have taken their habitat away from our animals. And then we get surprised when they're seen in the city. What do you expect? We're taking their habitat away. These animals are confused. I have seen strange behavior. I have noticed it for myself since 1990. When I went back home, I moved home in 1995, and I seen that the animals were behaving strange. Not the way as I seen them when I was a child. I was a true observer. It was because of the oral history that I've learned from my elders. I knew elders that were born in 1880 that lived within my neighborhood. As a child, I used to go and sit with these elders to talk with them. At that time too, I asked them, hey, what tribe are we in? They used to get really angry. We're all Anishinaabe. Kinakro Anishinaabe Kadame is what the response was. They were angry with how we were separated. The elders used to try to look at us as a whole, as all Anishinaabe, not different as your Cree over there or your Algonquin over there. We didn't do that. We were all Anishinaabe, and this is how we took it. We were even losing that among our people, our own, and it's a real shame. We have to, when they say we got to go back if we're going to save humankind here on Earth, it doesn't mean turning off your hydro, it doesn't mean turning off this and that and going back to remote ways. It means using your head and respecting Mother Nature, plants, animals, your own human beings. Respect humankind. Don't label, don't make judgments on fellow human beings. Live the way we were meant to live here. Love, respect, and share. And with that, I'm going to leave you for now, and thank you very much for all that I've shared. Miigwech.